Hi, I'm Una, you're very welcome to my channel. In this video I show how I used the Gina K wreath builder to perfectly position die cuts on the front of a card. This is a very inexpensive tool and one well worth having in your stash. The stamp and die set I use is this Sugar Peas Designs Nitwit. The images are really fun and the sentiments are very punny. I start by using a post-it note that has full sticky on the back, and I'm going to make some masks. I didn't know at this stage just how many of the images I was going to use, but I'll just set the masks aside and use them later. The one I do use is the knitting needle one. The square panel is Nina Solar White, Classic Crest Solar White, and I've got it in the centre of the wreath builder. Cozy Wishes is the sentiment I chose, and I cut it in half, but I don't actually end up using this one later because I noticed that cozy isn't spelt the way we spell it here in Ireland, C-O-S-Y. So I start by putting down the stamp and picking it up at the lid of my Misty, and now I will rotate it 8 times to complete the image that I want on my card. The 4-inch panel fits perfectly on every rotation. Every second one is into the groove on the bottom. And I'll speed this up now because I just keep on going like that until I complete the image. It's great fun using this. Then I decide to cross some knitting needles in the 4 corners so that it'll be more pleasing to the eye, gives it a more finished look. Doing this with Memento Tuxedo Black. And now I'll slow down the video here for a moment because I want to show how I applied the mask. I put the mask over the knitting needle and then stamp with the Tuxedo Black ink. And the effect that you get is really worthwhile taking the trouble to mask. You can see there that one needle looks like it's sitting on top of the other, and it's just such a special touch. Then I stamp out 8 of the balls of wool, colour them with my Spectrum Noir markers and cut them out. My die cutting machine is a Gemini Junior, and when all 8 are cut out, I put some foam strips onto the back of each one and then set them aside until I'm ready to assemble the card later on. Next up, I decide to replace the sentiment with an hello friend. I'm sure we all have a lot of friends we can't get to see at the moment, and I'm going to send this to my friend who loves knitting. I hope it puts a smile on her face. So I used the circular die to help me get good placement. And as the 2 stamps are from different sets, I stamped them separately. Friend first and then hello. And then I decided to use a stitched circle instead of the Spellbinders one I had used earlier. Next up, I'm stamping something on the background. And because I don't want this to be too distracting, I pick a very light ink, antique linen distress ink, and then I just drop my lid instead of pressing on it because I just want it barely to pick up the dainty dots. I put some foam tape on the sentiment and adhere it to the centre of the card. And then using a Spectrum Noir marker, a very light one, I coloured the belly bands on the balls of wool, and then use a gold marker to colour that little heart detail on the bands. That's a Boldmere, lovely bright gold, and a Spectrum Noir grey marker to colour the knitting needles, a very light IG1. Time to stick down all the balls of wool with the dimension behind them, and this is great fun. I'm really pleased with the way it's shaping up, and I love the dimension and all perfectly placed, and I couldn't have done that without the wreath builder. This is how I store my masks. I stick them to the front of the packaging. And I picked a little smiley face that's in the set. A really fun touch. And stamp the smiley face on all the belly bands. I think that's really cute. I decided to mat it on some black card. So I cut out a square and adhered it, and I wasn't totally happy. There was one side that was just a shade off. So I used my guillotine, and I'm just feeling there for the tiny piece that I need to cut off. And I love this guillotine. It cuts really thin strips. So my square card base is a Paper Mania 13.5 centimeters. Using my high-tack, fast-tack glue in the Gina K bottle, I adhere that down to the card base, and I'm really happy with it. I have two more examples for you. This one I made using a bun, what do you call them? Cupcake image from a set I have called Hog Heaven, and the other set I used for this was an Avery L. Bring on the Cake. All my supplies are listed below, so if you want to know what anything is, you can just look below this video in the Show More section. And another one I made was using two little chicks from Farm Friends set by My Favourite Things. I stamped those around the card together and then cut them out as separate images, adhered them with foam dots. Great dimension. The pieces in the centre are from Nellie Snell and Dyes, and again they're listed below. So that's the video. I hope this inspires you to either make your own wreath builder. There are videos out there that show you how to do that too, or buy the Gina K one and look in your stash and for those small images that'll help you to make really gorgeous cards. If you liked this video, would you give it a thumbs up? I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. Do come back to Una's Crafty Cards, and I'd love to talk to you, so please do leave a comment below. Bye for now, and please do take good care of yourselves. Bye, all the best.